Hello everyone, this is The Good with Dr. Joe, and today Joe's going to tell us just a little bit more about the government supplements to help out small business people.
Thank you so much, Ms. No. Welcome, folks. It's about 12 noon Eastern Time, that's Atlanta, and also it is 5 p.m. in London, England. Welcome to our show today. Just as Ms. Snow just explained, we are going to be talking a little bit about the CARES Act today, and we're going to focus on the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Plan. Now, Ms. Snow, did you know about the CARES Act?
Never heard of it before.
Now, the CARES Act was actually put a law that was created for small businesses to help with the COVID situation.
I see. Mm-hmm.
You see, a lot of businesses had to close or people were asked to stay home.
Right.
And so on and so forth. So what the government had to decide on something to help the people, help small businesses and so on and so forth.
What a good government we have that would do something like that. You know, that's the first time the government has stepped in and helped small businesses since Franklin D. Roosevelt was in office.
Wow.
During the Depression, he
Wow.
created different things to help people through the Depression.
And I'm hoping that the people will understand, small business people, individual people, what do you call it now, the independent contractor. I hope they will understand that this is the way the government is trying to help.
Yes.
First of all, it is the job
Right.
of the government to help protect the economy, stabilize the economy. So that's that's the job of the government. Okay, but anyway, the CARES Act was signed into law by the government earlier in this year. I think it was probably February or March. Between February and March, they came up with these various packages. All right. So today I'm going to be talking about the PPP. Now, the first thing is this. If you have not applied for it, the deadline, they have extended it once or twice before. Now, the deadline is 8th of August. And what is the 8th?
4 days away.
4 days away. That is Monday. And I do really recommend that you do it before the deadline because a lot of the companies, yes.
I guess you do.
Yes. They power down. They begin to close off the portal before August 8th. So don't wait until August 8th. Yes,
and
ma'am.
don't forget how slow the government works.
Okay.
So you better get on it today.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I would say. Get on it as soon as possible. All right. So now let's talk about people who already got the loan. It's actually a loan. And all of the loan could be forgiven. The loan also could be partially forgiven. And then you could have no forgiveness at all. So it all depends on how you structure your payroll. Don't forget, everything revolves around your payroll, around your paycheck. So that is why, don't miss it. Yeah.
Does it matter how many employees you have?
No, it doesn't matter.
So you can go from 1 to 100?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And as per SBA definition, small business that has up to 500 employees qualifies under the definition of small business.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah,
Okay.
from 0 to 500. And the thing that makes this thing so very neat is the fact that even if you're an independent contractor, if you only have one employee and that is you also do qualify and you can apply. And just like I said last week, during our podcast last week, I did say that even if you are not registered, even if your business is not LLC, is not Inc., doesn't have registration, you're just working by yourself, you also qualify. Your entity will be known to SBA as sole proprietor.
I see.
So you'll be sole proprietor even if you're not registered. So you also
Okay.
do qualify. All right. So here's how the PPP works. About 60% of the amount you get is allocated to cover your payroll.
So you're saying 60% goes to the employee?
Yes, 60% go to the employee.
Then 40% would go to the owner?
No, 40% will go towards operating expenses.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know, so you can apply some of that money to pay your rent, your mortgage,
Your expenses.
Yeah, expenses. You know, light, power, electricity, phone, internet, and all of that.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, though. You have to know what you qualify for when you are applying for forgiveness. Now, it's not automatic. The fact that they said you're going to get forgiveness doesn't mean that you get the loan and it's forgiven automatically. No, it doesn't happen like that. There are steps that you have to take. There are paperwork you have to submit, and so on and so forth in order to get it. Now, one thing I don't want you to know, though, is that whatever bank you're using, whether you use a private bank or whether you use one of these private firms, there are people that are allocated to help you process your loan. Because whenever you file your paperwork to request for forgiveness, it is that bank or that private firm that is going to look at the paperwork and decide what you qualify for.
Wouldn't your accounting know how to?
Yes.
Your accounting should know how to fill out the forms for the application.
You want to make sure you get with your accountant.
Right, I would think so.
And go over the paperwork very well.
Right.
You see, a lot of the wealthy people, rich people, what they do is that they hire qualified people to help them look at the paperwork.
Right.
And then submit.
Right.
And guess what? The cost of hiring the expert is considered
an
business expense.
It's an expense.
You know, so that it doesn't make any sense to try to do it yourself if you're not sure what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because it is
an
deductible expense.
Yeah.
Yes, tax deductible. All right. So once you get that figured out, and right now, initially when they started the PPP, it was 75% towards the payroll and 25% towards the expense, business expense, running expense. Right. Then somewhere along the line, they changed it to 60%. So it's now 60-40.
Okay.
You know, and these changes happen as people continue to approach Congress and let them know. Like, as a business person like me, it is my responsibility to let the representative know how I'm doing. If the provisions they made is not working, I'm the one on the field. I'm the one dealing with it. So I got to let them know.
But now, Joe, like say somebody wants to take advantage of that this afternoon and go qualify and fill out the forms.
Yes.
Do they go online to get the forms?
Yes, you can go. You can go
now
online.
what would the address be for them to go online?
It's sba.gov. sba.gov.
SB as in boy.
Yes.
A.
Yes.
.gov.
Yes.
Okay.
You can do that. That's one way to go. Or you can go directly to your bank. We're getting calls coming in. We're going to be taking calls shortly. So we'll just finish this segment and then we'll take calls. So you can approach your bank.
If you can get into a bank.
Yes.
Because, you know, most Bank Americas are closed now.
Yeah, most of the locations are closed, but they still have their online, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They have their online portal. So if you already have a bank relationship, business bank relationship with a bank, go online and search for their PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program, and they just follow the link and then you can file from there. So getting your loans forgiven. Now, this is critical. Whenever you are filing application to request forgiveness, you calculate the employees, number of employees that you have, your payroll expenses, table that up. That makes 40% or whatever amount, 60% or whatever amount you are requested to be forgiven. So on that 60% from payroll, you add another 40% to go towards your expenses. So that is the amount that you're qualified for forgiveness. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you get is your 40% from your total payroll expense or 40% from something else?
The total amount that you get as a loan, 60% of that loan goes to payroll.
Okay. And
40% go to expenses.
And that is based on your total payout for payrolls?
Yes.
Okay.
That depends on that.
Okay.
And don't be scared. In case you don't get everything paid off, if everything is not forgiven, you do have the remainder on a 1% interest
Oh, that's good.
repayment. Yes.
That's very good.
So whether you get forgiven or not, at least you can't beat the fact that
Right.
you got this loan
For
for 1%.
That's really excellent.
You know, so this is why I'm still a little bit surprised that I see people who have not taken advantage of this program yet. All right, so we're going to open it up. The phone was already ringing. We're going to open it up for questions regarding, we're taking questions regarding the PPP and how to file for forgiveness right now. So if you have any questions, call in. Today, the number to call in is 678-708-4567. That's 678-708-4567. So, Ms. Now, what do you think about this program by the government?
I think it's excellent. Years ago, I owned a business, a small business myself, and I can see where this would be crucial to take advantage of it because, you know, it may never come again.
Absolutely.
Of course, hopefully we never have another COVID-19, but you never know what the future holds. But, you know, even if I didn't really need it, I would personally apply for it because 1% interest rate is unheard of. And you can always use the money to better your business.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And especially for now that we don't even know how this COVID is
And we don't
going.
know how long it's going to last.
Yeah. And I think in Georgia, several school districts started school yesterday, and it was all over the news how a lot of the pupils didn't have masks on, they weren't observing social distancing and so on. So we don't know what's going to happen. We just hope that it doesn't get any worse. But why hoping for the best? I think it's a good idea for people to
Well, it
watch it.
prepares you for the future, the rest of the year anyway.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to have this for the rest of the year. And I would advise everyone to take advantage of it who runs a small business.
Now, what do you think would be the reason why some people are still a little bit skeptical of this plan? Because I've spoken to a few business owners.
Well, usually
skeptical.
people are skeptical when they don't have enough knowledge.
I see.
So we have a question. Can you go over how you go about getting your loan forgiven?
Yeah, the first thing, we just got a question. Somebody typed a question in, I think on Instagram. It said, wants to know the process of how to get it forgiven. Okay, now the first step is this. Within 60 to 90 days of your original loan receipt date. Oh, that's a call. So do we answer? Okay, let's answer this and we'll come back to that, okay? We'll come back today. Hello, thank you for calling in. You are on air with The Good with Dr. Joe. Go ahead.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you for calling in. What can we do for you today?
Well, I was wondering about how to get the PPP loan forgiven in my experience with it.
There's somebody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the PPP, you could have full forgiveness, you could have partial forgiveness, and you could have no forgiveness at all. And this depends on how your loan is structured. If I can ask you this, when did you get your loan? Maybe an average, if you don't know the exact date, the average date or approximate date.
I am a recent recipient of the loan, so I actually received it last week.
Oh, last week. Okay, great. Now, did you get this through a bank or through one of the private lending firms?
Yes, I got it through the bank that I have a business account with.
Oh, wonderful. So this is really good because your bank, don't forget that this is the loan. With the loan, the way the loan account is set up is that you're going to have a loan officer that is going to work with you to help you manage your loan account. Now, the first thing she's going to require you to do is to first calculate the amount of your payroll. So we're looking for a 2-month period payroll. So the total amount for that 2-month period is what's going to form your 60% of the forgivable part of your loan. Now, between 60 to, sorry, of course are coming through. So between 60 days and 90 days of your receiving the loan, you have to submit an official letter of request for forgiveness of the loan.
What is it called?
Okay.
Yes, just a letter requesting forgiveness of the loan. So you have to submit that between 60 and 90 days of receiving the loan. Now, if you are not sure how to do that, you can contact your loan officer.
Yeah.
And then they can walk you through that. So that's the first step.
Okay.
Then the second step is to now calculate your payroll expenses. You are using a 2-month period to calculate your payroll. If you are not sure how to do that, you also want to reach out to your accountant. It's very critical to get that correctly because your loan officer is going to walk off the paperwork that you submitted. Number 3, once you submit that to your bank loan officer will review the paperwork and either approve your application or deny the application. If your application is deficient, the loan officer will come back to you and tell you what you need to do to fix it. Once the loan officer accepts your request for forgiveness, they sign off on it and then submit it to the SBA. Essentially, what they're doing is that they're asking SBA to pay off that loan on your behalf. So once that is done, if there's any part of the loan that is left that is not covered, what's going to happen is that you would have to pay that back on a 1% interest rate.
And when approximately would payback start?
Yeah, payback start about a year after you receive it.
So you have 12 months before you have to start payments.
Correct. All right. Thank you so much, man, for calling. We really appreciate your call, and I hope you find the answers useful. Follow us, please, on Instagram. Like our page, and also go ahead and you can actually listen to this again on YouTube. We'll post it on YouTube. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
That's very good, Joe.
Yeah. So
Even I understood it.
absolutely. Yeah.
If I understand it, anybody can understand it.
Sure.
Well, sure.
It's very easy. No, it's very easy. Yeah. All right. So there was a question we're answering. That was a question? Same question?
That was a question. Yeah, you had 2 questions of the same.
Oh, okay.
So you answered 2 at one time.
Oh, so that's you killed one bell with 2 stones? Okay.
Yeah, one bird. Did you say one bell?
Okay, now the phone number to call again. Sorry, Miss No. Phone number to call is 678-708-4567. 678-708-4567. All right. So we'll take one or two more questions, and then we'll talk about some fun stuff today. You know, a few fun stuff today. A lot of people have not been able to go to vacation because of fear of COVID. So we're going to tell you about how to do that.
That's the same question.
Hello, and thank you for calling. This is The Good with Dr. Joe, and you are on live.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. If you have not applied for the DPL and you just want to apply now, what document do you need to back it for?
Very, very good question. I could hear some noise in the background. If you can turn that noise down so we don't have feedback. So now, what you need to qualify? There are 2 ways you can qualify. You can qualify as a business owner with employees or an independent contractor without employees. So if you're a business owner and you have employees, you need your Form W-3. That's the first thing you need, Form W-3. And then you need your Form 941 and Form 940. So those are the 3 forms that you need, and this will be from 2019. So if you already, by now you should already have filed all these forms.
Is it too late to file?
The form is not too late. You can still file. If you haven't filed your W-3 from 2019, you can go ahead and file it. The 940, you just pay maybe a little bit of penalty for filing late, but you do want to file it. So you need Form W-3, you need Form 941, and you need Form 940. That is if you're an employer that has employees. Okay, now if you're an independent contractor, what you need is your 1099 form and Schedule C if you have a Schedule C. If you have a Schedule C, get your Schedule C. If you don't have your Schedule C, 1099. A lot of banks will work with you just with your 1099. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. To some extent, sir. Yes, sir. But what I'm saying is that if you just start having, if you are just starting about the W3 now, or you have to have the employee as in last year, which is 2019.
Now, according to the law, don't forget that the CARES Act, when it was put in place, it was for businesses that were existing as of February 15th, 2020. So if you were not existing before February 15, 2020, you probably won't qualify. So if you were existing as of 2019, definitely you do. So this business has to be in existence by 2019. So that's the way you have all these forms. Now, if, for example, you started in January, you could still apply. So if you started your business January 2020, then you should have your Form 940. So you could start with your Form 940 and your Form 941. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you may not have your W3, but you have at least one of these. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Do you have any more questions?
No, sir, for now.
All right. Thank you so much. And you can follow us on Instagram, like our page. We also have our YouTube page. We're going to be posting a copy of this on there. Thank you so much. All right. So there was what were we talking about before the call came through?
We were talking about PPP.
Yeah, PPP. Yes. All right. So it's about 12:22. Let's talk about some fun stuff. While we're waiting for any questions, let's talk about some fun stuff. We're talking about vacation. Usually May, June, July is usually vacation time,
right,
because you want to do it before school starts in August.
Of course.
Now,
school's already started, but with the COVID-19, curtailed a lot of people's vacations.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about campsites, RVs. I looked up on through Google, which you may do also. There's 49 parks in the state of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2,700 campsites,
Mm-hmm.
including tent areas, and RV pull-throughs. And the average rate is $30 to $35 per night.
Wow, that's good.
So I got to thinking, since you can't, go where everything is so crowded, it would be nice for families maybe to rent an RV,
Wow,
take a vacation,
that's a good idea.
or go camping. All this information I got on Google. You can go there, put in campsites and RV sites in the state of Georgia. So they have them at the coast. They have them in the mountains. Hiawassee, Savannah, Blairsville, Sawtee, Nacoochee, and Rossville. Now, Black Rock Mountain is in Mountain City. I've been there. That's just above Clayton. It's beautiful up there. You're in the mountains. If you go this time of year, it's going to be cooler. And I know school has started, but I thought when you have a long weekend, you want to do something with the family, you might give this consideration. Unicoi State Park is at Helen. That's just about an hour and a half drive.
I've been to Helen. Nice place.
Unicoi State Park is a beautiful place. They have a lodge. They have a dining room. They allow pets. They have Wi-Fi, showers, restrooms. And also, a friend of mine just got back from camping on Cumberland Island. Now, that's a beautiful place to go to because it's a wildlife reserve.
That actually sounds very exotic.
And you could go down to St. Mary's, get the ferry over. But if you want to camp there, you got to make a reservation. Now, most of places, you do have to make a reservation. In the fall, there may be spur of the moments. I don't know. You'd have to check. But and down in Brunswick and the coastal Georgia, they've got several beautiful campsites and RVs.
So
now, this is something you need to check out for yourself.
Okay.
Because I've been thinking, if you don't have tent equipment right away, you say, oh, well, we can't do that. But you ought to check out renting an RV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine rented an RV this summer, put her kids in there, and they drove across on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Wow.
So renting an RV going into campsites for the night, I think that would be cheaper than going somewhere and staying in a hotel, a motel, or whatever. Anyways, just a suggestion to you.
I think that's a really good idea because you also actually reduce your chances of getting infected with COVID because you're staying with your family.
Yeah, you're away from other people,
Mm-hmm.
but still your kids can go to the playground with a mask.
Mm-hmm.
They can swim.
Mm-hmm.
You and your family can hike, or you can sit around and play cards.
I like this. I like the Savannah one, because you have a long drive to go, so you can look at countryside and stop. Maybe stop and take a break on the way.
Well, just staying in the state of Georgia, just about anywhere you go is not going to take more than 4 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking Savannah is instead of Georgia. That's in the coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Savannah is in Georgia. Yeah. All right. So many things to look at. All right. So our time is almost up. So next week we're going to be addressing the E-idea part of the
what?
CARES. E-idea, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So it's like I'm speaking French, I'm speaking Chinese.
Yeah, E-idea.
Yeah.
I thought, ooh.
Yeah, that's the part of CARES. That's part of the stimulus package for businesses and so on.
But now, will that also have an expiration date?
Yes, that has a longer expiration date. So
What's
that's
the
what I wanted
expiration date on it?
December. They'll continue to take application up in December. Now the thing is that they're going to continue to change it up a little bit,
Sure.
just based on how people respond and stuff like that. All right, so that's our time. That phone call there is a cue. That is the time to go. So please follow us on Instagram, like our page, and the handle is The Good with Dr. Joe. We're on
This
Instagram.
Dr. Joe.
Yeah, we're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on where else are we? YouTube. And next week we're going to be talking about that. And we're also going to be talking about how do you take care of your eyes during this pandemic. Period. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.